Today I am trying to lighten the load with my hammock sleep system. So I've got a current setup where I've got the Trek light, and this is the smallest one, single that they carry, hammock system, and it just has a basic standard kind of hammock design. So you've got two gathered ends, and you've got just a little rope that runs through them, makes a loop, and then I've got two lightweight aluminum carabiners that I will use typically to hang to either a rope system where you'd string it around the tree, that would tighten, and then you'd have different points, and you could add additional ones just by adding an overhand knot. And that was the first option that I used, and later I moved to more of a daisy chain style tree strap. So these are designed so that you have all of these intervals along the way, and it's the same kind of thing. You strap it around the tree, run it through the loop, and then this can hang down, and you can adjust the hammock by just a few inches where you want it to be on the strap, just to either raise the hammock, lower the hammock, change the angle a little bit. Very simple, very easy setup. You can get it put up in just a couple minutes. It takes a little bit longer to take down if you are rolling these up. I've seen some people, they'll just kind of mash them together and stuff them into their stuff sack, and it still works just fine. So that's the normal setup, and I'll go through some of the weights of what that is later in the video. But what I'm going to be doing is taking the ropes from the gathered ends of my hammock. I'm going to untie that, take that off, and I'm going to run through some whoopie slings that are 6 foot long each on either end. And what I'm hopeful to do, or hoping to do, is use that with a lighter weight tree hugger strap system, which these are only 6 feet. They're much thinner. They still have plenty of capacity from a weight standpoint to handle what I need. But to go to something like that versus something like this, and the ropes on the gathered end, so I can take those out altogether and remove these, and I'm left hopefully with a much lighter weight option. So stick with me. We'll go through this and figure it all out together. So when I'm out on a trip and weight is a factor, this is the hammock that I bring with me. This is the Trek Light Gear. They're compact hammock. It's 9 feet by 5 feet, so it's a little shorter than some of the other ones that are out on the market. I just like how it's compact and it's fairly lightweight. It's just under 15 ounces. If you include the carabiners in the pack, which I do, I just pack it up like this. So with that, the other options that I've previously used, the ropes is what I started out with. Those are fairly lightweight. Those are just over 7.5 ounces. So the drawback that I had with these is each of the ropes, it kind of just doubles back on itself, and it is 6.5 feet long each. Okay, but that also goes around the tree. So depending on the size of the tree that you're attaching to, that can, in some cases, give you very little extra length to then string your hammock up. So you're limited on some of the options with going with something like this. I really liked the compact, lightweight form factor. I just found that on some of the trips that I went on, I was limited on where I could set the hammock up. So I wanted to find something that gave me greater flexibility. So I stepped up to kind of the other style that's very common, where you go into the tree straps. Now, these are 14 feet long, okay? So, you know, compared to 6.5 feet, even if you're dealing with a fairly large tree, you're going to have quite a bit of length to work with, and a lot more flexibility. And I loved that, you know, you've got these sections that are, you know, about 3 inches long that you can attach all the way up and down the strap. So immense flexibility, very simple to do. The drawback to these is the size and the weight. These are 15.5 ounces, so it's almost twice the weight of the ropes that I was using. So, and the other benefit, I guess, too, is the damage that these do to trees is typically minimized compared to some of the kind of the rope structures that can do a little bit more damage, dig in a little bit more. This, at least, it's a dual rope, so it doubles back, so you can kind of spread those out, distribute the weight a little bit. But these are better and more flexible. They're just bigger and bulkier and heavier. So that's why I'm really interested to look at something that is potentially quite a bit smaller than even the lightest, smallest one that I've used. And with this and 6-foot tree straps and 6-foot whoopie slings, I've potentially got as much length or pretty close to it as with these. So you go from, you know, 14 to 12. So I'm thinking that should give me plenty of distance. And I've also found that with the 14, I also have another set of these that my son uses that are 10. And I bought those second for him. And part of the reason I bought the 10 instead of the 14 is just I found that there was more on this than I really needed in a lot of cases. And I ended up then having the extra bulk and the extra weight. So 10 was a happy medium for me, dealing with a bigger, bulkier, heavier item. So this potentially can solve both problems of, can I get the distance between trees that I desire and do it in a lightweight factor that's extremely strong. And that's one of the advantages of the Amsteel, which is what these whoopie slings are made out of, and the polyester straps. So you've got a pretty high weight capacity. Typically these have, you know, 1,600 pounds. That is their breaking strength. So you know, this is going to be the deciding factor more than these will. Very excited to string these through, and let's see what that's going to be like. So just for comparison, the bigger, bulkier straps, there are 2 of these, weigh 15.5 ounces, just slightly more than 15.5 ounces. This setup with the whoopie slings and the straps weigh 4.5 ounces. So you've got less bulk, and you're saving about 11 ounces just by switching out these 2 options. Now, there will be also a little bit of weight savings just by taking the rope out of the gathered ends of each of the hammocks. So at a minimum, we're dealing with 11 ounces, and then we should have a little bit more in weight savings just on those, without reducing the distance that we can use for the hammock, and also reducing the bulk of just how much space these take up in my pack. So let's get to stringing these through the hammock. So what I'm going to do first is, after undoing that knot, taking the carabiner off, I'm going to open up the whoopie sling. So here's the adjustable loop on that end, this is the fixed end. So the fixed end is what we want to run through. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie that fixed end to the existing rope, just with the overhand knot. Okay, so that I can use that to pull through. The way they ran this rope through, I'm going to run it through twice. I'll tie it onto the other end that's still in there. Okay. And we'll feed that through again. Okay. So that we've taken the rope out, but we've used it to do the dirty work of getting that fixed loop through the whoopie sling twice. So, or through the bunched end of the hammock twice. So that just the fixed end is here. Okay. So just run it through that fixed loop. Okay. Take the adjustment. This is the actual part of the sling where the cable runs inside of itself. So you can adjust it open and close with that. And then we can pull this end tighter. Okay, so there it's cinched up. Run through twice. And there's our whoopie sling. Okay? So now we're going to do that exact same thing on the other side. Go. So now we've got both ends that are strung through. The ropes are out, so we can attach. If we want to use carabiners, I'll probably start this way to try it out, and then we'll see if there's some other options you can do to reduce the weight of even taking the carabiners out. So the next step will be getting this strung up here so we can take a look and talk about some of the pros and cons. Okay, let's do that now. So this is the other hammock that I have, and this is just the traditional kind of setup that I've done previously on our Boundary Waters trip, and some overnights that I've done where you just have the daisy chain straps. These are the shorter ones, the 10-foot ones, strung up to, this is the Hammock XL that I have. So what's nice about that is you can literally adjust it however you want, just based on how far apart the trees are, you know, how you want to do it. It's completely adjustable on the fly, really simple to do. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that off to the side now, and I'm going to string up the other one, okay? Just like that, you can get them strung up really easily. And then here's the advantage then of the slings, is they're designed so that you can adjust based on tension. To the height that you want, tension that you want, and you can adjust those really well. And you can do it down to, you know, down to the millimeter of just how long. You don't have to worry about there being loops that you have to attach into, okay? So that you can get it to the appropriate height that you want to be able to get in, which for me is pretty much a sitting position. It's real easy to sit down into it and go. So yeah, let's go take a look and see what the weight difference just ended up being for us. All right, so put it all back together. This is now the new setup. This is the hammock, the carabiners, the straps, and the whoopie slings are all compact, scrunched down into that sack. So it completely eliminates having to bring this extra amount of bulk. We were able to take the ropes out of the ends, or the even smaller piece, which is the smallest, lightest option that I had before, now eliminates that, all down into this one nice compact form factor, and it's also a weight savings on top of that. So this now weighs 18.25 ounces for my whole system. So if you compared that with the previous system with the ropes, that was 22 and a half, just a little above that, 22 and a half ounces, now down to 18 and a quarter, and smaller size. And the strap system, the previous strap system, was 30 and a half ounces with the extra bulk, 30 and a half down to 18 and a quarter. So very happy with that. Excited to try that out. Wish that I would have had this set up at Boundary Waters, but I'm going to get out, try it out here in the backyard, take it on a few other overnights in the area, just to again use it, be more comfortable with it, and then next time we go on a trip like that, this is going to be the setup that I bring. Save me space and save me weight. So hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Appreciate all that you do to support us. Take care. Be well.